Hey y'all, and welcome back to a new video where I am playing with the white pieces in a very long tournament where each game lasts around 4 hours. And yeah, let's just get into it. So in this game, I start off the game with, if I can actually play the moves, I start off the game with d4. My opponent goes knight f6, and I go bishop g5. Played million times by me personally because I love this opening and no one will ever change my mind about it ever. I'm definitely going to change openings soon, but it doesn't matter. My opponent goes e6, I go e4. This is the line that I like to play, and my opponent decides to play the line that everyone plays, which is wrong. The move bishop e7, already giving white a monster position. e5, this is all theory. Knight d5, takes, and I go this move c4, not afraid of anything like this because of the move knight d2, and I am perfectly fine. I already know all this. I don't really need to calculate anything here, so I'm not doing anything. My opponent decides to go back to b6 instead. A reasonable move. Knight c3. My opponent comes up to f6, and I go with this move knight f3. I mean, actually knight c6, not f6. Either way. And I go with this move, knight f3. Very natural stuff, defending both my pawns in the center. Maybe I want to push later. Other ideas here. Basically, white just takes a ton of space in the center and then just tries to win. Those are basically the ideas of this opening. And you will see them on full display here. My opponent decides to go with d6. Definitely a move. I'm forced to play ed, and my opponent plays cd. Also, all been played before. This is all still in my notes. I already know what to do here. And I decided to play the move bishop e2, a move that I thought was very natural. Simply developing my bishop. I want to castle short. I don't like that the queen is staring down at me, so I cut that out by going bishop e2 instead of bishop d3. And yeah, my opponent goes d5 and makes a mistake. Now, the move d5 in and of itself is not like that bad of a move. Like, you look at d5 and you're like, okay, I see the idea. Like, after c5, you want to go back, and then you want to like start targeting with like b6 and stuff. And I thought that was like the idea. But then I realized, like, that's not good at all. Like, that the b6 move just in general, like the b6 idea in general just sucks because I can immediately exploit his like weakened knights after that move was played. So I played c5, my opponent went knight d7, and I'm already much better, and I have a road to a pleasant game for the rest of the tournament. Good stuff. I love this stuff. I decided to go castles. Not a bad move. I'm just castling my king. What can be more natural than that? I don't want to like do anything crazy now. My opponent goes a6. Okay. And I decide here to go really aggressive. I could have gone with this move bishop d3, just developing my bishop onto a better diagonal and like keeping some stuff into the game. I could have gone rook e8, rook e1 after that. Maybe like rook b1 and b4 is an option. But I decided to be really aggressive here, and I play this move queen a4. And the idea is I kind of want to increase pressure. I like this pin towards the rook. That's the most important thing. I like that I have ideas like knight b5 and knight coming over to d6. I really liked that square was so weak, and I wanted to exploit it immediately. And I thought, you know what, if anyone's better here, it's obviously white, because white has more space, white has pressure on the king stuck in the center, and I thought that I was doing quite well, and I am correct. But my opponent kind of just entirely destroys me, because after move knight f6, okay, knight f6 makes sense, I just do the wrong plan. And it's not like I played poorly. It's like I just chose the wrong idea, and that's annoying because that's not something that you can like calculate your way out of. Not something that you can like fix. Like, you have this one thing and then you fix it immediately. Like all those videos online saying, oh, if you play this one way, you got 1500 immediately or something like that, some garbage like that. There's nothing like that when you like just choose the wrong plan, because they both looked good, and I messed up. I went knight b5, and my idea was very obvious. I'm putting my knight on d6. Can't take because I take his rook, right? That was the whole idea of this move knight b5, and I thought I was doing quite well. I thought this was a very nice plan. Thought, okay, my knight gets to d6. I'm living the good life now, and I mean, like, what is he gonna do? What is he gonna do? But I simply missed that. Like, I mean, castles. He does castles, and now I'm not even better, which is absurd. I have to find insane moves to even survive now, and I make another bad move. Well, it's not that bad of a move, but I play the move knight d6. And I'm like, okay, this is my plan. You're allowing me to go to d6. Like, what can be more natural than knight d6? In fact, a lot of things can be more natural than knight d6, and I just messed up. I just messed up. This plan was bad. What I should have done instead, there's a very nice plan. This idea b4, and I'm just going b5, and I'm winning. That's the whole plan. That's literally the whole plan, and that would have been very nice. You might say, okay, well, let's say castles, b5 97 takes, and I can in fact take this pawn because it might look like the knight have some nice discoveries, but it doesn't. My queen controls both these squares, and I'm all good. That would have been nice. That would have been really nice. I would have really liked that, but I didn't find that plan, and after knight b5, I'm just worse after castles. Well, I feels like I'm worse. It feels like I'm worse, in all honesty. Knight d6, and it looks like my knight is active, but it's not. It's not. My opponent plays a very natural move. I thought bishop d7 was very natural. Idea is I can't really take this pawn because of the move knight d8, I thought, and I thought I was just losing the knight. I'm not, but like after like I thought like queen b3. I mean, like, what are we doing here? That's not good. This is not okay. Like, we're not seriously considering this, right? So yeah, I didn't want to go for that. I thought that was just lost, and I was like, okay, wait, my queen's actually in a little bit of trouble. Maybe I should move it out of the way. Maybe I should try something else. Instead, I found this very nice idea, I thought, and I was like, okay, you know what I'm gonna do? You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna keep my queen I'm gonna keep my queen there. I don't think I have to care because the knight actually doesn't have any good spots to go to. Like, if we look at the position, these three squares are covered. This square doesn't really do anything because is he really going to trade off for my knight and then my bishop gets in the game? No, he's not going to do that. And I was like, okay, well, then I'm fine. Then I'm fine, and I can just develop my pieces. So I went rook fe1. And I'm like, okay, rook fe1. I'm doing great. I feel like I'm doing quite good here. My opponent goes rook fb8, and here's where I started seeing the trouble. Here's where I started like understanding, wait, my position sucks. My position is terrifying because what he's gonna do, he's gonna push. He's gonna push, and peasant, I don't even know. I don't even know about that because then I mean like, it feels like his entire position opens up. Feels like I just lose. That's what it feels like to me. So I was terrified here. I was very, very scared, and I steeled my nerves again. And played another bad move. I played this one, bishop d3, and my idea is, again, you know what? I don't think b5 does anything. I don't think b5 is actually that scary because I can just move my queen back and I'm all fine. If he wants to go for this, b5 idea, I'm not gonna take. I'm just gonna go like back to d1 or something, and then I'm like, oh, my position is better. My position's better. I'm getting him to e5 maybe. This pawn isn't actually that big of a deal because after like let's say anything like knight e5, if he takes here, I have bishop h7 at the very least, and I get the knight back, and I thought I was doing quite well, but he shocked me. He shocked me again. And he played this move that I just didn't calculate at all. This move b6. And I am scared. I am scared out of my wits. And this forced me to calculate one of the craziest lines. Well, not one of the craziest lines, but it forced me to calculate a very, very nice idea that I don't really get to do very often because I just don't play. I just don't play this way. And I was like, okay, b6. What is he threatening? First of all, he's threatening to take, open up the rook, and win, basically. Also, this pawn is super weak, and that there's also there's some discovery here. I don't remember. I thought there was like some like knight jump or something that could just like win the game here. In all honesty, I do not really remember my calculation, but I remember that I was terrified and I thought I was like almost lost. And that's why I ended up playing this very nice move that I found after like 15 to 20 minutes of thought. Remember, this is a 2 hour long game, so each person gets 2 hours. 20 minutes actually isn't that bad, but what I ended up calculating, I thought, okay, I thought I needed to move my queen. I thought I needed to move my queen. If I move my queen here, if I move my queen to a3, I thought, okay, bc5, dc5, and I don't even know, 98 or something, and like he's picking up the knight that was on d6. My knight has no retreating squares, which is awful. And what I'm gonna have to do, I'm gonna have to like suffer in this position. I'm gonna have to suffer. Look at this. This pawn is weak forever. I can't play b4 because everything controls that. I thought that this was really, really bad, and I didn't want to do that. There's also the idea of so one more thing. Yes, if I played b4 immediately, what he's really threatening with b6 is to make my pawn super weak, and like I'll probably lose it at some point. That's kind of what I thought. Like make my pawn weak, and then I remember my calculation. I remember what I thought was like the scary thing. Yeah, he's threatening bc5 here, and I thought like e4 at the very least, like this. No, no. What is the issue here actually? What did I think? I really don't really remember actually. it was something terrifying. Maybe 98. Maybe just, yeah, this looks correct. Maybe 98, just trying to take care of the knight. But I thought that was pretty bad, and I had to watch myself. So I ended up playing this nice move, queen c2, which is the best move. And somehow this position is equal, because what I did here, I calculated a pawn sacrifice. I decided, okay, you know what? I'm going to sack my pawn, and what I'm going to get is I'm going to get some counterplay. I'm going to get some compensation, and I thought maybe, just maybe, I'm going to be okay. My opponent goes into the line I calculated, which was bc, dc, knight here, queen anywhere. I didn't really think it mattered, but I went, actually, he did it in reverse order. He did knight b4 first, here, 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 here. I didn't really think it mattered. And he took on b2, and I was like, you know what, I'm probably worse here. I'm gonna keep fighting. My opponent was a little bit lower rated than me, so I thought, okay, maybe he makes a mistake at some point. I can probably like get this into like something going here. I'm like, okay, what I'm gonna do first, I want to take control of the b file because he has full supremacy of that b file, and I thought, you know what, I don't want him to have full supremacy of that b file. So what I did first, rook b1. Thought my e-rook was stupid. I kind of wanted to get my knight out at some point with this move, knight to f5, with the rook pointing down to the queen, so he couldn't take. But it never really worked because, like, at the very least, he would just capture this pawn. I decided to go for this, and my opponent decided here, you know what, he's just going to give back the pawn. And I was like, okay, I will have that. He goes here. And I'm actually much better already, which is a little absurd. I take, and I'm like, okay, you know what? You're giving me back the pawn. I still think my position was, in all honesty, I still thought my position was pretty bad because my knight was kind of weak and didn't have any escape squares. And I was really, really scared here. But I took the pawn, which is a mistake, by the way, which is a mistake. What am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to go rook c1. And this is the way to play for a win. Rook c1, and you're playing for like this. You're playing for like c3, I don't know, c6, c7, c8, and it's like, oh my god, I didn't see that. I did not see that at all. But that's a very, very nice idea. Like if he takes this pawn, I'm just like winning here after queen b3. I get the b file, I get my queen down, and it's game over basically. I'm gonna give a check here, and then the pawn is promoting, which is very, very nice. My opponent, I take on an a6 though, which is inaccurate and not good, but the position's still equal, which I genuinely didn't think it was. I genuinely still thought I was worse. My opponent goes rook c2. Idea, he wants the pawn. I thought, okay, I'm gonna defend it with queen b6. I thought about this move, queen a7, to pin the bishop to the queen and defend this pawn. But I didn't like this. I don't really know why I didn't like this. I think I just thought queen b6 was better because it controlled the b file. Um, and like I thought my queen was like more in the game with b6 because I controlled more like the back rank or something. But I don't know. I don't know. I was a little stupid. I was already like kind of frazzled from earlier because I thought I was just like completely lost. My opponent gave me a second chance at life. So queen b6, I'm playing poorly. My opponent gave me this move g6, and I'm winning the game. It's GG's. It's over with a very easy move. Knight d4. It's over. That's it. That's it. That's it. It's over. The rook is trapped, actually. The rook is simply trapped. I didn't see this. The rook is simply trapped. Here, here. The rook is trapped. If he comes up to d3, actually, I just promote because the queen now defends the knight properly. I just push my pawn. He probably has to take on d4 and this position, but I mean, I'm up in exchange. Like what is he gonna do? I'm up in exchange. And I didn't even see this. I thought g6 was kind of smart because I was starting some back rank stuff. And I'm like, okay, you know what? I have some ideas. I had some ideas to like maybe push this pawn. I wanted to push this pawn in some lines. I wanted to go knight e5, which is okay, but it's not the best move. Instead, I just went h3 and gave the game back. I'm like, h3, okay. I'm giving my king out. Maybe I want to get my rook out. I thought it was some ideas like that. And the reason why I was like scared of this and didn't play this immediately was because bishop just takes, and I can't take because of checkmate. And that's kind of why I played h3. I was like, okay, well, I'm getting a left for my king too. I'm stopping knight g5. You know what? A knight g4. You know what? I think I'm good here. And then he plays his move knight e4, and I'm like, oh my god, am I losing? Am I just lost here? Because the thing is, I can't play this. This, like, I thought this lost. How does it not lose, actually? Knight e5. Queen f6, threatening mate in the knight. Queen b8 check. Okay. I mean, I thought it was over. I thought this was like game over, but oh, okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm supposed to find that. I'm supposed to find queen f8 check. And then this. Okay, yeah. Yeah, that's... Oh, man, I should have found that. Oh, yeah, that's a really, really reasonable thing to find. But I thought I was losing after knight e4, but I had like one move that I thought worked. And this was this move, queen b1, which I thought was very cool. I'm coming back with the queen, attacking the knight and the rook. He can't take this, obviously, because then I thought at least this move, and I win... So he can't do that, and he can't take with the knight because obviously I take the rook. Instead, he goes rook c5, and here he actually offers me a draw, which I thought was kind of weird. And I took it. I took it because I thought I was losing like the entire game. I thought I was like dead the entire game, but I wasn't. I was actually a lot better most of the game. And I was never worse. I was never worse. Not a single time in this game. I just really, really thought I was worse because I'm not the engine. But I was never worse. And I mean, that shows that I need to improve on a lot of things. But yeah, that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys found this entertaining. And the reason why the video was called what it is because I definitely could have played this on. Like, I definitely could have played this on. Like, White is probably playing for the win here because they have the outside passer. Like, I could have played this on for, like, a while. But I was just done. I was just done. I'm not, not in the mood for any more insane stuff. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys found this entertaining, instructive, all the above. If you did, remember to like, subscribe, do all the normal things that YouTubers tell you to do. And yeah, good evening and good night.